Hi there, Sherry Schreiber of GettingBetter.com, and I want to speak with you about a very serious matter today. Boy, for a lot of years I've heard from people who say, I'm my own worst critic. I just heard it today from somebody, as a matter of fact. And that inspired me to do this video. Now, you've seen me talk about self-worth and how to build self-worth and how to stop being hard on yourself in other videos, right? Quit being hard on you. I think I recorded in September of 2017 when I first started recording these videos for you, because it's so vital and important you understand how you're harming yourself, how you're actually making yourself depressed and sick and hastening your demise with how you speak to yourself. When you're harsh with you, your body, and you're hard on you, your body hears those expressions that you're saying to yourself as that you have a death wish. It honestly does. And your body consciousness wants to accommodate whatever it is you're wanting. So when it hears this over and over again, I'm a loser, I'm not good enough, I can't get anything right, it adopts those things that you're saying to yourself as that you have a death wish. We might wonder why people, when they get old, become infirm, they become sickly. There's no logical reason why this should happen to us humans. Yeah, our bodies wear out over time. But the real reason people fall apart physically is because they're busy beating themselves up to a bloody pulp every day of their life. And by the time they get into their 60s, 70s, 80s, this has had a cumulative impact on their health. Think of it this way. If you had a conjoined twin, you guys were joined at the hip, and that evil twin was beating you up all day long and stabbing you and jabbing you with a knife and banging you in the head with a baseball bat. How do you think you would feel at the end of your day with all that abuse going on? Well, when you're hard on yourself and you are your own worst critic, that's exactly what you're doing to you. There's no evil twin present, but you're taking it out on you. And this is absolutely wrong. There's no payoff in it. It's undermining your well-being, your health, your emotional vibrancy. 80% of the world's depression today is directly due to people being hard on themselves, driving themselves too hard, standing over themselves with a whip in their hand, as if they're beating a slave. It's people being self-critical. What's the payoff in this? Well, believe it or not, there is a little payoff in it. Because when you say to somebody, oh, I'm my own worst critic, you're wearing that like a badge of honor, aren't you? Aren't you wearing that like a badge of honor? Doesn't that give you some kind of ego satisfaction to be able to say that? Oh, I'm my own worst critic, as if that's something to be proud of. It isn't. It's really not, and it's deleterious to your health. I mean, big time. So if you want your body consciousness to continue to interpret these things that you say to yourself, these critical, shaming, guilting comments to yourself, if you want your body consciousness to continue to interpret the way that you talk to yourself is that you have a death wish, you're going to bring that on much earlier than your normally expected expiration date. You're going to get sick. You're going to be in pain. You're going to be depressed. This is what you're doing to you. Nobody else is doing it. Now, how do we start doing this? We didn't pop out of the womb having poor self-worth and being hard on ourselves. That never happened. But if you think long and hard about this, whose voice are you copying? Whose voice are you replicating for yourself? Was your mom hard on you? Did she drive you hard? Did she expect you to be perfect and without error as a child? Was it your dad who rode you hard? And why did he do that? Because he didn't want you to turn out like him? You may have been a good child. You may have had a good sense of right and wrong. But your father treated you harshly, perhaps, because he didn't want you ending up to be the bad boy that he was. This is absurd. This is ludicrous. If a child starts to go in a wrong or bad direction, we have to deliver some tough love. But if that child is good and he's not acting out and he's not misbehaving, there's no need to be hard on him and punishing to him and harsh with him or her. That's just stupid. I used to be really hard on myself in my younger years. Probably not a lot like you are. It's not like I drove myself hard. I don't recall doing that. But I do remember every single day of my life, once I'd become what I thought was self-aware, looking for flaws, looking for shortcomings, looking for how I wasn't maybe good enough. I'd go on search missions to find these things. I really would. I was constantly wanting to be on top of my shortcomings, my flaws, my deficits. And I was proud of it. I was proud of being able to find these things, see these things, acknowledge these things in me, because God forbid somebody else should notice them before I did. If somebody else noticed them before I did, that was my shame. Didn't want that to happen, so I had to be hypervigilant. Pardon me, about discovering my shortcomings. One day I finally, for some reason, and by the grace of God, came out of the ether, and I said, Schreiber, what does this give you? How is this helping you looking for all these deficits and flaws and shortcomings? What's this doing for you? And I realized it was doing nothing at all. The only payoff in it was patting myself on the back for being so incredibly self-aware that I was on top of all that shit. That was my payoff in it. That's why I kept doing it, and that's why you keep doing it too. But my dears, you're tearing your health down. You literally are tearing your physical health and vibrancy and energy down every time you deliver a shaming, guilting, hard on you comment. A critical comment to you has far-reaching ramifications to your physical and emotional health. You got to stop this shit. You can experiment to understand what kinesiology is and how these critical negative comments impact you by using a simple little kinesthetic tool. And I'm going to teach you about that today. Whether you have a spouse do this with you, or a sibling, or a friend, you want to hold your arm straight out to the side, okay? Or you can hold your arm straight out in front of you. Keep it nice and stiff. And you get one of these shaming, guilting, critical, hard on you comments in your head. You just hear that in your head. You see that in your mind's eye. And then you are to instruct your friend or sibling or lover to try and pull that arm down, exert as much pressure as they can to get that arm down from either the straight in front of you position or the out to the side from the shoulder position. And I guarantee you, you're going to have no shot at resisting the pressure they put on that arm to bring it down, just like a lever that's broken. You're going to be weak as a little lamb. No matter how hard you try to keep that arm extended, you're not going to be able to resist whatever pressure they put on you. I used to do this with my clients when I was still seeing people face to face, just to demonstrate a point. Now, once you've done that, I want you to do the same exact exercise. I want you to do the same thing, but now you're going to get in your mind's eye something you're proud of, something you feel good about, something you can give yourself a nice compliment about. Maybe it's been a past accomplishment. Maybe you won a trophy for some athletic performance or something like that. Maybe you got honorable mention for a painting you did once upon a time. I want you to get that positive idea in your head and just hold on to it. Think of it. You're not going to share this with your lover or partner or friend. You're not going to share what's in your mind. You're just going to have them pull on that lever. Okay. Try and pull that arm down and do the same thing. You hold the arm out in front of you, straight out in front, or out to the side from your shoulder. And with that positive thought in your head, you're going to have them do the same thing. Try and put as much pressure as they can on that arm to pull it down. And that arm's going to stay up. I swear I've done this with clients. And I'm not a very heavy person. I mean, I weigh right now about 115 pounds. But I could just about sit on their arm and have a hard time bringing it down when they've got a positive thought going on toward themselves in their head. So kinesiology and kinesthetic testing shows us in real time what you do to your body energy, what you do to your mood when you're saying negative things to yourself, when you're beating yourself up like that evil twin I described earlier that's attached to you at the hip. You've got to stop doing this. It will shorten your life. It seriously will, folks. We are mind, body, and spirit. You can't impact one part of you and not expect the other two parts to suffer. You can't. It's not the way we work as humans. So quit being hard on you. Realize how egocentric it is for you, which is kind of disgusting when you think about it, to take pride in being your own worst critic. And people do. They say this like they're waving a banner. I swear to God, every single person who's ever said that to me, yeah, my own worst critic, as if they should get an award for that or something. Well, the award is you shorten your life. As you age, you become sickly, infirm, crippled. You develop diseases and ailments in your body. That's the outcome for you. So if it's important enough for you to hold on to your pride, that you are your own worst critic, and you get off on saying that as if you deserve a prize for it, there's no hope for you staying healthy and strong. There's no hope for you becoming a vibrant, healthy, whole, self-respecting, self-liking, successful human being. There's no hope, my dears. Now, You can decide I'm full of shit. Sharing this with you. It won't be the first time. I'm sure it won't be the last. You can decide I'm full of shit. Oh, that's Sherry Schreiber. She's full of shit. This is just crazy what she's proposing here. I don't have a death wish. Yeah, you do if you're beating yourself up to a bloody pulp 24/7. You have a death wish. Now, the way I stopped myself once I realized what I was doing to myself and that there was no real tangible payoff in it was I invented tools for myself to turn this stuff around. A lot of those tools are in my anxiety video tutorial. A lot of those tools I put in there. Because whole, healthy, emotionally sound, grounded, centered people do not suffer from panic attacks and anxiety episodes. They just don't. They just don't. If you comb through my YouTube videos, you will see videos where I'm teaching you how to be your own best friend. I'm teaching you how to quit being hard on you. There's quite a number of those videos up on the web right now, so you're going to have to sort through a lot of them, perhaps. Maybe close to 100 of them now, miraculously enough. But you've got to stop this. You've got to stop being your own enemy. You've got to stop it. There's no payoff in it for you other than sickness and depression. There's no payoff. Yeah, I used to feel proud of myself for being on top of my not so savory features. But you know what? It did me no good. Really. It didn't help me in any way. It didn't help me be a better person. It didn't help me become a better woman. Always righting myself and being on top of all my shortcomings. It didn't help me become a better person. But what helped me become a better person and somebody who's able to impart great wisdom to you, really gold to you today, is shutting down that negative tape altogether, killing it off altogether. And it's going to help you too. So please take this video very, very seriously. I mean it. Save your own life. Stop being your own worst critic. Nothing positive comes of this. I guarantee it. And bye for now.